Fairy, please sit down and be quiet while we wait.
Very well. Fairy! Excuse me, I'm upset.
Well, Miss Penny, you have the entire staff searching.
Stop her! Don't let her get away!
I suggest you better join us. Please sit down.
Now we'll find out where those bonds are. Madam, hand over those bonds.
Senator, perhaps you should let me talk to her. She won't answer you.
Oh, yes, she will.
Oh, no, she won't.
We'll just see about that. Well, madam, what have you got to say for yourself?
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate revolving customers, fights, bugs, fleas, bumblebees, prickly heat, bats, gnats, pills, pots, pans, butts, ladders, worms, germs, pachyderms, and politicians.
What does she mean?
Weren't you listening?
Excuse me, please.
Fairy!
Madam, did you hear what I asked you?
Senator, please don't shout. She can hear you all right. She's just not going to answer you. She hasn't answered anybody in over 20 years.
Madam, don't try any tricks on me.
Be careful, Titus. She carries a knife.
Savage, please. Mrs. Patty doesn't carry a knife. She's hostile but quite harmless. Now, if you would please yield the floor to me.
Very well, but I want to hear her talk.
So do we all.
Mrs. Patty, please look at me. Good. Now, I want you to nod yes or no to the questions that I asked you. Do you remember the bonds on the table that you took a couple minutes ago?
She did and she did. Oh, this is exciting. I wish we could open a door and have a body fall out.
Mrs. Patty, please concentrate. You remember turning out the lights? Yes, you do. And you remember the bundle of bonds on the table? Try to remember. Think.
Dr. Emmett, I found them.
Oh, no, you don't. I'll take charge of these.
Senator!
Hand them over.
Oh, look! Radio tubes!
You said you found the bonds.
I said nothing of the sort.
This restores my faith in witchcraft.
Where did you find them?
In the basement, in the hot air duct in Fairy's room.
I told you I was cold all winter and you wouldn't believe me.
Dr. Emmett, I hold you personally responsible for this fiasco.
What you suggest I do, Senator?
Search that woman. She may have the pin on her person.
I'm afraid that's going to pose a problem.
Very well. Concentrate on making the others talk while we search her.
Mrs. Willie, you search Miss Savage, please.
Oh, no. Take me. I'm the youngest and I'm just the quickest. Or do you want to draw straws?
You first, Fairy. I don't want to miss it.
Thank you.
Would you like to come with me, Fairy?
Yes, please. Do you know I was once asked to play Lady Godiva for the Elks cabinet, but I didn't. My mother was afraid of so many elks.
Mrs. Patty, wouldn't you like to save us a lot of trouble?
Don't you have some kind of threat to resort to here, Doctor?
I do not threaten my patients. Mrs. Patty, look at me.
The truth drug.
Of course, use the truth drug on her. Then we can make her talk.
It's absolutely out of the question. I have to have her guardian's consent.
Very well. Who's her guardian?
Her husband.
We'll get him on the phone. Where is he?
Japan.
Well, in his absence, have you the authority to act?
We have no proof that she took them yet.
I still think Lily Bell's your girl.
Will you stop saying that?
Dr. Emmett,
Yes, Jeff.
since Mrs. Savage can have her bonds anyhow, I think I can help you.
Yes?
Mrs. Patty didn't take them
How do you know?
because I took them.
He's the thief. I knew we were being tricked. Hand him over, young man. I can't.
You took those bonds, Jeffrey?
Yes, sir.
And what did you do?
I've searched Fairy, Doctor.
Just speak out.
I threw them out the window.
Cause I quickly Titus will watch from the window.
Stop! Parcheesi! The royal game of India!
Ran away? Jeff, you couldn't have possibly closed the window. You couldn't have possibly thrown it out the window. It's closed.
It's stuck. What do you mean by deceiving us?
Let go of it, you stupid dogs!
He said he took the bond.
Well, he didn't. I happen to know.
And just how do you
That is not
that?
your business.
Mrs. Willie, how do you know?
Because I had my arms around him the whole time when the lights went out. I wanted to protect him from being hurt during the confusion.
Thank you, Mrs. Willie.
That's not true. I took them. No one else.
Dr. Emmett, Miss Willie, something awful is happening. There's a
prepare to sit down.